Have you ever wondered how a really simple sentence can turn into a totally chilling ghost story? Well, the secret isn't some kind of dark magic. It's actually a powerful tool that's kind of hiding in plain sight, the adverbial. These are the words that add all the color, the detail, and yeah, the suspense to our favorite stories.
It really does seem like magic, doesn't it? But the answer is, you guessed it, grammar. And I promise, by the end of this, you're going to understand exactly how these powerful little words can build an entire world, basically from scratch.
We're going to break this down into 5 simple steps. First, we'll look at the bare bones of a sentence. Then, we'll see how adverbials give it all their power. We'll learn how to find them just by asking the right questions. And finally, we'll get into the really cool stuff, the advanced tricks that give a story its unique attitude and flow. So let's dive in.
All right, section 1, the basic sentence. You see, before we can add any spooky details, we need a skeleton to hang them on. And in writing, that skeleton is the basic sentence.
Just think of these clause elements as the building blocks of language. I mean, every single sentence you've ever read is just built from these core parts, and each one has a very specific job to do.
So most simple sentences really just boil down to 3 key parts. You've got the subject, that's the who or what of the sentence. Then there's the predicate, that's the action, what's happening. And finally, the object, the thing that's being acted on. It's a simple formula. Who did what and to what.
And here it is, our story's skeleton. Maria is reading ghost stories. I mean, it works, right? It gives us information, but it's a little flat, isn't it? There's no atmosphere, no tension. It's just a fact. Okay, it's time to add some flesh to these bones.
Welcome to section 2. Now this is where the real storytelling begins. We're about to go from a simple statement to a living, breathing scene, and it's all thanks to our key ingredient, the adverbial.
So what exactly is an adverbial? Well, it's any word or phrase that adds extra information. It answers all those natural questions a reader has, like where did this happen? When did it happen? How? And of course, why?
Okay, just look at this transformation. We go from a basic description to a real scene. Adding "in her room" gives us a place. Saying they're listening carefully tells us how they're listening. It adds tension. And dropping in a word like tonight, well, that suddenly injects a ton of urgency and suspense. That is the power of adverbials.
Section 3. We know these words are powerful, but how do you know which ones to use? Well, it's actually way easier than you think. You just have to ask the right questions.
This right here is your secret weapon. By asking 4 simple questions about the action in any sentence, you can instantly find the adverbials at play. It's like a little cheat code.
Let's apply this to our story. We ask, when does someone turn up? The answer is an adverbial of time. Tonight. We ask, where is Maria reading? And that gives us place, in her room. How are they listening? That gives us manner, carefully. And if we were to ask why, the cause might be because it is exciting. See how each question just unlocks a whole new layer of detail?
Okay, on to section 4. Now that we've got the basics down, let's talk about the boss level. Some adverbials are so powerful they don't just add detail to a sentence, they change its entire meaning. The key difference here is scope. While the adverbials we just looked at add detail to the action, a sentence adverbial comments on the entire statement. It's kind of like the narrator stepping in to give you their own personal take on the situation. These powerful adverbials come in 2 main types. You've got the ones that link ideas together, and then the ones that express an attitude or an opinion. So in our final section, we're going to look at these 2 types, which you can kind of think of as a writer's directing tools. They let you control the pace, guide the reader, and inject your own voice directly into the story.
So first up are linking adverbials. Words like initially help organize the story. They signal to the reader, okay, this is where the sequence of events begins. It's like a signpost.
And then you have a word like however. Whoa, this one is a total game changer. It signals a complete twist in the story. It basically tells the reader, hey, forget what I just said because here comes the surprise. It completely changes the direction of the whole narrative. Now, the second type of sentence adverbial is all about attitude. These are called modal adverbials, and they're like the writer's own opinion just leaking into the story. Words like obviously, probably, or unfortunately don't just tell you what happened. They tell you how the storyteller feels about what happened. Let's look at a couple of examples. The word clearly shows how certain the speaker is that Maria was scared. It's all about believability.
but fortunately expresses the speaker's personal opinion. They're relieved it wasn't a real ghost. That's a pure injection of attitude.
And so, using all of these amazing tools, the story comes to its spooky conclusion. We see adverbials like still today marking time, and sometimes noting how often it happens. These small words are what keep the legend alive.
Hoo-hoo! A perfectly chilling end to our little grammatical ghost story.
So the next time you're reading a book, or heck, even just writing an email, pay attention to these small but mighty words. They're not just filler. They are the true building blocks of atmosphere, emotion, and suspense. They are the tools you use to build a world. The only question left is, what world are you going to build?